Y'all on a neat little tour of my man cave where I go escape and get away from everything. Oh man, nothing but happiness. What we have here is what's left of a 6-pound solid shot cannonball. I have no idea how it got busted like it is. It didn't come from a battlefield, it came from a camp. Maybe a battlefield souvenir. And we got a couple of frisons, musket frisons. This was the firing mechanisms off the musket. A couple of them. Those are Brown Bess, by the way. And this is the pan right there to a Brown Bess, the pan. Here is a bayonet, what's left of one. It's also Brown Bess. And the musket barrel, what's left of it. It's definitely the barrel. This is a another piece I'm going to be working on. You know what that is? It's a musket part. I know what it is. That right there is a breech plug to a Brown Bess musket. When this is cleaned up, it will look nothing like it does right now. I think you'll be amazed how it turns out. That is a breech plug. Alright, well, I'll get to work on it and we'll show the results. I just knocked the cocoon off this. Now you can see what it looks like. It's a breech plug. Brown Bess musket right there. So what it is, dug several of them. We'll put that in electrolysis. It'll come out looking wonderful. And it will be iron that's well preserved for another day. Alright, we sat here and knocked all the scale off these pieces. As you can see, the frizzen looking pretty good. That one there, that one there. We'll put them on the grinding wheel here in a minute. There's the pan. And I'll knock off some more before we do some electrolysis. Also, when you're sitting in here doing this with a hammer and a Dremel tool, make sure you got this on. Your eyeglasses and face mask. You don't want to breathe. You don't want to breathe any of that in your lungs right there. Look at that. That's not good. That ain't good at all. So make sure you come properly equipped when you're working with iron. It's another little step, little procedure I'm doing called the grinding wheel and brush. This is the barrel right there. Anyway, we're just getting any of the loose stuff off of it, as you can see. And what you don't want to do is have loose clothes around that right there. Bad idea. Makes for a bad day. We're just knocking off the loose stuff. That's all we're doing. There. We'll clean out this center. We're just trying to help out the electrolysis process is all we're doing. Alright, that's all we're doing. I'll get back with you once we get this in the water. Tonight we'll build a fire and we'll finish the process up. This stuff is going to look good. Alright, we're going to set our vat up. It's just no ice chest. Got some all thread rods, one for the anode. I'm going to take some of this right here. Ain't nothing but Cascade dishwashing soap, detergent, whichever. I'm going to put some of that in there. Alright. And we'll put water in here and we'll get stuff wired up. Got my battery charger right there. We'll get back to you in just a second. We're going to fill this up with water now. Well, I guess I got to go turn the water on. What in the world? Hang on a minute. Alright, now we got the high quality H2O on. That was dumb. Anyway, get it in there and make you get a swish around there. Make you a good fondue up in there. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get this filled up. You can see the mark there. And I'll get back to you in just a second. We got to take this brush off this Dremel tool and find a stone. Somewhere in here I got a stone. Anyway, the whole idea of this is to take and get down to the goody on this iron and take this wire right here, because you got to have a good contact with this wire to raw iron, and right now we don't have any raw iron. So once I get a groove made, I'll turn this back on and show you. Alright, now you see that shiny stuff right there? That's raw iron. Alright, that's what we're going to hook that wire to. You want to put that in a good, in not so good an area. So I put it kind of toward the end where I can use that little hole right there, what once was a hole, for a gun screw. I can use that to my benefit to tighten stuff, tighten the wire up. A little partial hole there. You can see where it's nice and clean right there. Anyway, we'll tighten the wire around there. I'm going to put it in electrolysis. We'll turn this back on. Just like that. See? Alright. And we're going to get the rest of these prepared, and we'll take them out there and put them in the vat. We got our iron wired up, ready to go. We'll take this. We're going to dump it in there. Like so. When you get it to about halfway from there to the surface to the bottom, you're going to take this wire, you're going to twist it. Try to do this with one hand, it ain't working too good, but anyway, you get the idea. You're going to twist it around this right here. Alright? Get you a good connection. So as you can see, we have the gun barrel floating. We got all the other little pretties down there ready to roll. Everything's tied off to the all thread. This is your anode. It's a piece of all thread as well. It's iron. Never use stainless as your anode. It causes cancer. You can read up on that at treasuredepot.com. Go to the Relic forum. I have a link. How to do electrolysis without dying. Anyway, so we're going to hook up our leads from our battery charger. Alright. Negative to the center and positive to the anode. Right there. See there? We're ready to rock and roll. Now all I got to do is turn this little darling on and we're ready to cook. Once we get done cooking, we'll build a fire and I'll show you all the final process and the final product. Got the battery charger on. She's cooking. Also, I want to show you this. You can see the bubbles and everything going on here. You see that? We got some movement. Yeah, she's cooking. That's a beautiful sign right there. Yes, sir. All right. We're going to let this cook for a good while, maybe 3 or 4 hours. I'll get back to you. All right, come out here and check on this electrolysis. Everything's bubbling nice. Collecting to the anode. They've been in here for about 5 hours. I think I'm going to take them out. I'm going to clean them over a bucket with a brush. Knock off any extra scale that was on there. What should happen is when you pull this out, it'll turn black in your hands. You can rub on it and black will come on your hands if it took good. Maybe. Alright. See that? See how that just flakes off in your hand? All that scale, that's how you know you cooked it right. Look at that, it just comes off in your hand, all black. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we'll brush these down and Look at that. That's electrolysis 101 right there, baby. It'll come out nice. I'm going to brush all this off, and then I'll get back to you. Look at that. Alright, I got a couple gun parts here. We're about ready to put in the fire. This is what they look like when you're done. Isn't that pretty? That's the frizzen. See the hole there I said was there? Nice and clean. Got a little bit of work to do right here on the top. A little bit of rust still there. But other than that, she looks really good. Turned out real nice. And that's the pan right there. That's the pan. Turned out really good. Real pretty. Anyway, we'll put them in fire, then we'll seal them, and I'll show you a finished product. Oh. Alright, I just pulled this other frizzen out. Now I want you to look at this. This is what you call not good. That right there, it never took. It never took. When you get this one beside that one, you can definitely see the difference. You can see it. I must have not had a good connection on it. That's why you gotta make sure you have a good connection. That's gonna happen right there. Big difference. Big difference. Anyway, I want to show you that so you know when it don't do good, you know what to look at. I get to redo this piece. I just took this partial cannonball out. Look at the black on my hands. You just can rub it. It just comes off. Now this sucker's soaked in there for about 6 hours. You can just see how it comes off on the scale. So that did really good. You can see my hand. That's when you know your electrolysis worked. Alright, well, we've got other things that cooked in here. We'll get them out tomorrow. I'll show y'all the final procedure on restoring iron. Another day after last night's electrolysis work. Here's our goodies. Gun barrel, cannonball, what's left of it. That's a solid shot, by the way. And the bayonet turned out beautiful. What's left of it, 2 frizzens, breech plug, and the pan. Now what we're going to do is build a fire. It's kind of misty out, but I've got to do it. We're going to build a fire. We're going to stick these iron pieces in the fire, and then I'll turn this back on as we're getting them hot. Until then, alright, we're going to build a fire. This is my little pit right here, made for this, and we're going to squirt some stuff on it, get it going. As soon as we get the fire going good and hot, I'll turn this back on, and come on. Look at that Boy Scout maneuver right there, folks. That right there, I learned this in the Boy Scouts. Look at there. I'm good. Alright, I'll get back with you in just a second. Well, we got a good hot fire now. Here we go. Now this little contraption right here, that's a metal pole. That's a stainless basket. As you see, we got our artifacts in that stainless basket with some clothes hangers holding it. And what we'll do, we're going to set that right there in that fire, just like that. Alright? We're going to let her just sit there and cook and get hot. Oh, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. We're going to let the fire burn the moisture out of that iron that's in the pores. And once we get done with that, I'll show you the next method. We're going to create a fire. I'm basically make me an adult beverage, sit back and enjoy a little fire. Alright, she's cooking very, very nicely. I'm sitting out here enjoying a nice adult beverage with my special LC Texas mug. I'm having me, that's a Yeti mug, that's a nice one. It's my Christmas gift. But anyway, I'm having me a whiskey drink. Straight, we have no Coke. Anyway, we're gonna let this cook. It's getting hot, and we'll pull it out in a minute, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with it. I just had a guest stop in right there. Look at her. Oh my, that's my lovely daughter, Haley. Where you going? Come back. Mama's visiting with the neighbor over there. I don't know what they're probably telling. Some kind of big story today. Anyway, we'll get back with you. Man, look how hot that is down in there. Woo, she's starting to glow. That's good right there. When we get done, we'll put it on this piece of plywood right here. Let it cool off a little bit. We're done with it. Now we're gonna take this off the fire out of the oven. Oh my God. Alright. That is hot, hot. Gotta use a stainless basket. We're gonna carry it in here. Alright. Carry it in here. We're gonna dump it on this board. Alright. So I got me some guests that showed up there on my campfire. My son Wyatt, Zach. We're gonna sit out here and smoke a cigar now. What we having, son? What we got up in here?
Got some
honey bourbon cigars. Well, we gotta celebrate a little bit. Thank you, buddy. Zach, what you eating over there? Enough for everybody? That's my damn pizza. I thought you brought your own.
Why said everybody? You want a slice? He hadn't eaten.
You're asking me if I want a slice of my own crap? I'm good. We'll light this cigar. Now here's a little suggestion when you're out here cooking iron. You could actually have a little party. You could smoke some wieners on the fire, some marshmallows. Have people over to eat your own pizza. Smoke a cigar. There's all kind of things you can do when you're burning iron and preserving history. You could even have an adult beverage. Ain't that right, Zach? Okay, we got them all brushed down. They're a little red looking. That's good. That's perfectly normal. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit them with this paint. This flat black. Okay. Watch me do that. Get this side coated. And these pieces are still warm. That's when you want to paint them. Not hot, when they're warm. If you let them dry, if you let them get cold, moisture will get back in there, believe it or not. You don't want moisture on there. If they're warm, it still burn that moisture off. Okay. Right there. This has tannic acid in it. It's sealing it. Okay. Hit that pan. Okay. Breech plug. All right, we'll let that dry. We'll roll them over, and we'll get the other sides here in a minute. All right, this morning, show everybody what the finished product looks like. Here's a gun barrel. Turned out really good. Really good. We got the breech plug, the pan. All this looks a lot different from when we first started. You can actually recognize what it is now instead of a cocoon blob of rust. That flat black does a really nice job kind of turning it back to its original color. You know, some people like to use clear. That's fine. I like the flat black. Bayonet turned out good. What's left of a bayonet anyway. Cannonball turned out really good. You're seeing the inside of a solid 6, so there you go. Now you have real smooth finish. Beautiful piece. Anyway, that's what the finished product looks like. Now we'll put them in the collection display.